This is an HR program on demand, a living seed capsule of work life and workplace coming live from a rooftop in Stockholm, Sweden. It's me, Andric, and
me, Katarina Berg.
A vodcast, if you like, on HR, straight across the counter. Sponsored by HR The Real Deal, HR by HR for HR. Hi, Katarina.
Hello.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but you had
Where have you been?
No, but my team is so great and they have so many things that I think the world should listen to.
Yes.
So I've pleasantly been listening to the podcast rather than being part of the podcast.
Yes, and it's been a pleasure to talk to quite a few of them. But now I am equally excited to have you back.
Thank you.
So, my dear, what's on your mind?
Except for
my hair.
Except for your hair.
Exactly.
But it's a couple of things. First of all, HR The Real Deal. So we had the summit, and was it the 4th or the 5th? I think it was the 5th.
It was the 5th physical one, and then the 6th, the 6th if we add the virtual one during the pandemic.
Yeah, and like MK, my team would say, let's just decide it was a success. But with that said, we also asked the whole community, should we do another one? Because I think there is several reasons. Do you want to chime in what the reasons are?
Do I?
Or do you just want to fix your hair?
I'm so busy with the hair.
Okay, so I think sometimes when we ask questions like that, the community thinks it's because it's a lot of hard work. And it is, of course, because it's on top of our jobs and it's not during our daytime jobs. It's, weekends and
Nights.
Evenings. But I think that is totally okay with Nina and yourself and myself. I think it goes back to the purpose. What was the reason why we started HR The Real Deal? The vodcast, the podcast, the summits, the labs, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It was, I think we felt for a while there that the profession, first and foremost, was diluted and by different forces. One, for the strangest thing that all of a sudden HR or knowledge of people was trending in a positive way. So we saw a lot of people that's never done anything, have no experience, don't have the training or education to do it. All of a sudden, just slided into kind of the space of HR.
And claiming our work, basically.
The second thing, we saw a lot of people kind of packaging our experience and the work and selling it back, and not selling it back to enterprises and companies and organizations, but actually selling it back to HR. That surprised us, I think, even more.
Yes.
Because why would you? And the third trend that we see also, and that's always been around, is that a lot of people in HR, when it's time to do the candy, meaning candy being the strategic work, the complex work, the work that needs a combination of the know-how and the experience, that usually goes to consultants.
Yes.
And then when you do the day-to-days, which is important, and we heard that from your talk with Katie on transactional, the foundation, the bread and butter, the hygiene factors, we can call it a lot of things.
The base colors.
Yes, the base colors, right? When you do that yourself. And then when you start to do kind of the building of the 14th, 15th and 17th floor, this is when you ask other people to do it. So those were a couple of reasons why we thought. And then we wanted to bring people together. It's quite a lonely occupation too.
It is.
Because of third-party integrity, and because everybody has an opinion about what we do, and because you are a person or you are a human being, or because you work in a workplace, you also think that you can do what we do. So I think that combined, and then we hope that everybody would be strengthened and also reminded. And fast forward, we got into COVID, and hey, even more so, the profession got into the center of universe. for the reasons we all know, and in one way never wanted to have the experience. And we still see the trend that a lot of people are lurking around in the space of HR.
They're actually, that's so that's so well put. They're lurking around. Yeah. No, but yes, and I think.
So what's on your mind when it comes to this? Because we asked the community, should we continue?
Yeah.
Because we also feel that a part of the community, they come and they think it's great, and they celebrate, and they feel that they get the energy, and they are
got
inspired.
a lot of insight, and sharing.
And then like a day later or a week later, they are actually inviting the people that are lurking around to be part of the work that they do in their organizations, in their companies, with their challenges, or have them take the center stage in their companies, working with everything from their executive team to talking about leadership, or having people talk about hybrid that doesn't even work in a workspace. I mean, how do you put that together? I don't really understand.
No. And I think, yes. And I think this is where obviously you, me, and Nina are then having doubts about the community. And also thinking, you know, we're willing to put that effort in because we do it for the greater purpose, and we love our professional. We love what we do. We do, right? But then it's like, if our own peers don't understand the purpose and don't, value that, the question is then, what do we do? Shall we put in that time? Or should we actually put that time on something else that makes more sense, right? So there is I don't know, maybe disappointed is a strong word, but I still would like to use that, because at sometimes you get disappointed. And it's not, the summit is, it's not about the summit. It is actually what we're trying to solve, and coming together as a community, sharing, learning, and also, how can I say, valuing that purpose of HR, the real deal. And when you see that it's so easy to just, after the summit, go to these people that are lurking around, then the question is it worth it? Shall we do something else? Shall we refocus, repurpose? I don't know. This is
or reset. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or we just take care of each other. But I think there was a hope, right? And I think the hope was this: if we can show everybody that does HR what good HR looks like.
Yeah.
So we have companies or represented by really great CHROs or chief people officers, or whatever you like to name them. They come. They are open, they're vulnerable, they tell their stories about the good and the bad and the ugly.
Yeah.
They talk about what they do that is exceptional within that, whatever topic it is. And I think, if you do 5 and you have 10 speakers, and it's not just Swedish speakers, it's also global speakers, and they come in and they gladly do that. And they share, and you can get inspired. And as we always say also, if you are inspired or even still with pride, you could also give credit with pride, right?
True.
So remember what we're trying to say. Remember who came up with this, or who gave you the ideas, or who sparked that kind of whatever idea of how you can do it in your own organization. That is one other thing. But instead of asking these people to come when you have an off-site, on-site, a leadership day, or whatever that sits within the remit of an HR, head of HR. What do the same people do that's been there not once, not twice, and not 3 times, but maybe gone to all the summits, and they go like, my God, everything was manifested, everything was like, I was reminded, I was inspired. I really think that, going away from a day like that, I'm glad, and I'm also reminded that I have the best job in the world. Why on earth would you then not call any of these people?
True.
But you will go and ask people that has not maybe for the last 10 years worked in an office to talk about how we work in an office,
Right.
how you go distributed, how you go hybrid, or what the challenges are for the people that decide to work from home versus the people that actually love to come into an office, or to have a mix of that. Why do you ask a person, or when you go to any speaker kind of community and ask somebody to talk about any type or angle when it comes to leadership, and you book a person, that the first question should be, have you any experience yourself in an executive team, or have you any experience from a boardroom? Do you have
people leadership,
or have you led teams yourself?
Yeah.
And have you done that for big groups, small groups, in a startup, in a scale-up, or in a very, mature, big corporate organization? And then you look at like, no. There's like, no. I have no experience about this. But they come and they speak about things.
And call themselves experts.
Yeah, but on top of that, they don't know what you know.
Exactly.
And you're not using, the peers.
Yeah.
And I think that is the reason why we are talking about it now, because we got so many good and really positive and encouraging, like no, you should do that.
We should continue.
Yes, continue. And we love the summits, and we can't find summits like this anywhere where there's no expo. It's very, very open, and the energy and the love in the room and the sharing and the caring is there. So please, for God's sake, don't stop. But you said disappointed. I would say we are very surprised. We can't put one and one together here.
No.
And I think that's why we're discussing it.
Yeah. So you're surprised. I'm disappointed.
Yes.
But it I think yes. I think it's all of that, and I think that's why we also are thinking about. I said repurpose. I should rephrase that. It's not about repurposing HR the Real Deal, because we know the purpose is the right one. We know why we started HR the Real Deal, because HR is the real deal.
Yes.
So it's more resetting, to your point. It's like, okay, so we've done this now. We learned quite a few things. We have great people in our network.
Right.
So what are the next steps? Now,
and why pay a lot of money for a self-proclaimed expert when you can call one of your colleagues?
Exactly.
I don't get that.
No,
I don't get it. And it's not
either.
about being cost efficient,
No,
or even being senior or thrifty. It's about being smart and passing it forward.
True.
And talking to a real expert. I think that is kind of the core thing here.
And that is also how we strengthen one another. That's also, how do we come together as HR peers across the globe, share and learn? I mean, that's also one of the big purposes that we have with HR the Real Deal. So what are we saying, Katarina? We're saying we're still elaborating on what that reset will look like.
We're also saying that we have, and which we already had, coming out of the fifth one, we have all the speakers, we have everything lined up for a sixth.
We do actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
We haven't just decided 100% if we want to do it.
No.
For the reasons that we now been debating a bit.
Yeah.
But I think it was fair to do a podcast from the heart and also give back, because there were so many people that actually took time out and gave us feedback, especially on LinkedIn, on our very open question, should we do this? It seems like the purpose is getting a bit lost here.
Yes, and we wanted to stress that, and I think it was good that we actually, we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Stressing it. Let's see what that reset looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I cannot. Here we go. Okay.
Here we go. Now I'm in front. Here we go. This is good.
It feels good for me.
Yeah. Okay.
How about? Does it feel okay for you?
I'm a background person. Yes. Lead singer
Okay.
first. Stay safe.
Stay strong.
Stay active.
Ida Modalia.
Like, no, I'm behind. No, that doesn't feel familiar to me. Like,
this is not good.
No, this is good.
This is fine.
Me. I want to be in the picture too. Och sen den där också.
Vilken? Nej, inte den.
Satte du något i halsen? Nej, jag bara Krama, vad roligt att se dig.
Eller, this is also, man kan också göra så här. Men du och jag gör så här. This is how we hug, like very intense.
But when you don't have to scream in my ear.
No.
But you also have like a color on your face.
Do I?
Yeah.
Really?
You got makeup.
I look green.
Yeah, but
Can we make me a bit more tanned?
yes.
Yes, and her a bit.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
It will look like you've been in Spain for the last.
Okay, and maybe Anne-Marie can look like she's a bit see-through, and me tan.
I am see-through. I am see-through.
Okay.
So you don't. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Idemo.
Idemo dalje. Ajmo.
Där är
Jesi li gotova? Are you ready? Yeah.
Može,
Ajde.
može.